Welcome to Gold Derby. I'm senior editor Denton Davidson here with a Grammy-winning singer who also happens to be the artist formerly known as Ship on The Masked Singer, Paula Cole. Paula, you were serving it up there and people at home loved it. What made you decide to get on that stage?
Well, they asked me, and I didn't even know about the show. So I'm like, what is this Mass Singer thing? And I did a deep dive, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to do this, but they were incredibly kind. And then they offered me that gorgeous costume, which looks like an art piece. I think if they had offered me some like furry amoeba suit, I would definitely not have done it, but it was beautiful. And I ended up having so much fun. I just had to kind of embrace joy and kind of get over myself. It was so out of my comfort zone, but I had a really fun time.
It was a really cool sort of rustic
Mm.
costume. And you must not watch TV. I mean, because this is one of the biggest shows that there is.
I know. I now know that. And now I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to watch the rest of the season with gusto. And like actually watching it with my family host is probably the most fun of all with the kids and the really old folks who are in their lazy boy chairs watching television. Like it just appeals to everybody. It's really fun.
Did anyone know? Because your performance in particular, they used as like a promotion. So it was out before the show actually started. And people online, they were like, it's Annie Lennox, it's Adam Lambert. I mean, they like the guesses were all over the map. What was it like to sort of hear people guessing?
Right. I saw that on YouTube. A lot of Annie Lennox, which I love because she's a hero for me. One of my heroes for sure. She inspired me to start singing. Like when Eurythmics first came out, I saw all of their shows when they came to Boston. So, like I always had like a more alto voice. Like I had sorrow in my voice. I didn't have one of those little girl little voices. I had like a big voice. And so I responded to Annie Lennox, and I love that they thought I was her. So yeah, I've got like the low and the high. It's just hard to quantify. And also people know me more for my songs. Like my songs are so known, and it's nice for people to kind of find me again with just my voice. So that was cool.
Who were like one or two of your biggest influences growing up to make you into this singer-songwriter producer that you became?
Mm. Yeah, I mean Annie Lennox for sure. Aretha Franklin. I just love her piano playing. Like she's unheralded as a piano player.
Yeah.
Even like Miles Davis, just the way he uses economy and space and the way he plays. I love Bob Marley's songwriting. I love the simplicity of it. It can be about love or it can be about social political statements, which I think is important as an artist. I love Joni Mitchell. I love Dolly Parton. Everybody's really different from one another, but they're uniquely themselves. I love Neil Young. So those are some of my tops. Those are some of
Well,
my tops.
you got into the Group A finals, and then you have to go into this Battle Royale with the Buffaloes, this incredible trio of singers. Do you get nervous? Like, are you competitive? Like, what was your thought in that moment?
I hated the Battle Royale. It's like,
Yeah.
for me, it's like the worst part because music, it's like a sing-off. And I hate that music is being used competitively. Like music, that's the antithesis of music. Music is a unifier. It makes you feel all your feels. So I hated that. I really hated it. But and also I was torn. Like I didn't go into this thinking I want to win. No, I practiced like Buddhist unattachment. I stayed stoic, like just went with the flow and enjoyed the process. I believe in my voice and all that, but it's not necessarily about that. Sometimes it's like fan favorites or what's best for the show. And I just I understand why Buffalo won and they're lovely and so I don't really care. I don't need to win the Masked Singer. I am me them first, but I was surprisingly like sad after I lost and I went backstage and I went to my costumers and my sewers who get me ready every day and it's like I cried a little bit because I'm gonna miss them so much. We
Oh,
had such a little beautiful ritual going and a friendship. And I just loved being part of the crew. I loved being part of the show. I loved dancing. That was so fun. Like hitting my mark and being with dancers. There was a lot that was joyful. So yeah, I miss like suddenly you're just out and like the car's waiting for you, and it's next and I'm back to what I do and that's good and that's healthy, but yeah, I'm gonna miss everybody a little bit and I'm watching to see who wins. Go Buffalo.
go Buffalo. Well,
Yeah.
you know, when you look back all these years, 1998, you took home that Grammy for Best New Artist, and it was a tough year. I mean, you were up against Fiona Apple, Erykah Badu, Hanson, and Puff Daddy, and I promise I'm not going to get into that. But,
Mm.
what was it like to win that Grammy that year?
Oh, I was nominated for seven. There was a lot of attention on me in that moment. The album did really well. Where Have All the Cowboys Gone was the big hit, and I Don't Want to Wait hadn't even taken off yet. Like I was really known for Where Have All the Cowboys Gone, which charted higher than I Don't Want to Wait anyway. There was a lot of attention. I was touring relentlessly, kind of came home for a day or two for the Grammys. So it was just very fast. I was off to Europe the day after. So I missed like all of that armpit hair scandal because I was off in Europe. Thankfully, I missed all of that. I don't know. Like it was such a whirlwind that I think it's taken me years to process. I don't want to take too much stock in awards and all those niceties. Like Maggie Smith, who recently passed, she had all these awards and she called them the gallery of the grotesque. And I totally relate. Like there's something kind of pompous about it all. Or like you don't need it, and that shouldn't be the reason why you do it at all. That being said, do I wish to be seen and honored? Of course. Like I can't do this alone. I can't do it in a vacuum. I need people. Like I need an audience. Otherwise, it's lonely and pointless. But I don't. I try not to just be attached to that, like winning. I just I just hope to have like a long burn over my life. That's what, like, I thought about leaving the music business for a while because it just like happened so fast. And Emmylou Harris was very loving to me. She said, "It just happened too fast, Paula. Don't give up. Like, I'm lucky. I've had this nice long plateau." And it made me think about that. Like that's the way to do it.
Well, speaking of awards, at the Emmy Awards this year, when Joshua Jackson came out, they played I Don't Want to Wait and from Dawson's Creek, and I was in high school. I mean, listen, this is embedded into my head now forever. Did you have any idea when you allowed them to take that for Dawson's Creek, what that exactly would turn into, and how did that really happen?
Oh, hell no, I didn't see that coming. I was getting off tour. I was going to take a break. I was pregnant. I'm going to have my baby and kind of go into my life, which I did. So I didn't even like watch Dawson's Creek. I didn't even know like the momentum and the impact it was having. And then it became so much bigger than me. Like, oh, people knew the song and not me. It's like it kind of created a problem. It became a problem child. It became complex. Like that I'm so known for that song. Now, that tripped at my ego a little bit, like, where am I in all of this? However, with time, like I'm so honored that this song has so much meaning to people. Like it has so much meaning and nostalgia and joy and love for people. So when I sing it, it's like this magic key in a lock. It opens people's hearts and we're all singing together and there's tears. And it's very, very honoring that this song can cross generations like again and again. I didn't expect it.
And then before I let you go, I need to mention Low, your 11th studio album,
Yeah.
released earlier this year. Talk
Yeah.
about, the feeling behind that, and has your creative process changed over the years, or are you still sort of the same artist you were 25? I mean, you're not the same artist, but is the process still the same for you?
Thank you. Yeah, Lo, it's been a beautiful ride. A lot of positivity, and it's touching people. I wrote, I was kind of like touched by working with Jason Isbell and John Paul White in the studio, and I had to write something for us to record together as a trio, and that just kind of it sparked me. I just didn't stop writing. And my mom was going through a really bad patch, and it made me think about her mortality in my life. And what do you do when you have all these complicated emotions? You go to music. Music heals you. Music is a form of therapy. I went to my music and I ended up writing Low, and it became this very personal album. So it's meaningful to me. In fact, I was really kind of shy to release it. And I did, and I'm glad I did. And the first lyric of the first song is Mother. It's just that kind of personal work. And my process hasn't changed. It's largely intuitive. Um, I'm playing more guitar now. Piano I still consider my first instrument, but I'm trying to develop more as a guitar player. So I have both, instruments compositionally, but it's largely an intuitive process about tapping feelings and putting feelings to words to kind of heal yourself. So that's the same.
Yeah. And it's a incredible album. So everyone, if you haven't listened to it yet, go out and get Low. And Paula, it was so much fun and a great surprise to see you on the Master this year. And thanks for sitting down with Gold Derby today.
Thank you too. Thank you, Dad.